Good morning. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful and blessed day. Today is November 27th, and we're reading Proverbs 27. We're almost done with the month, That's crazy. It goes by so fast, doesn't it? And then Christmas. Have you put up your Christmas decorations? I was supposed to do it this weekend, but this weekend got super busy, so I did not yet. But I'm excited to do it. I'm very excited. I have a pink Christmas tree because I love pink. Pink's my favorite color. Okay, so let me get into the proverb here. It says, "Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth. A stranger, not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but the resentment caused by a fool is even heavier. Anger is cruel and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. Open rebuke is better than hidden love. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from the enemy. A person who is full refuses honey, but even bitter food tastes sweet to the hungry. A person who strays from home is like a bird that strays from its nest. The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It's better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer my critics. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton go blindly on and suffer the consequences. Get security from someone who guarantees a debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. A loud and cheerful greeting early in the morning will be taken as a curse. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping on a rainy day. Stop her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something greased with hands. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. The workers who tend a fig tree are allowed to eat the fruit. So workers who protect their employees' interests will be rewarded. As the face is reflected in water, so a heart reflects the real person. Just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desires that are never satisfied. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by their praise. You cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain and even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pestle. I don't know what mortar and pestle is. I think that's the stuff when you put bricks on, right? I think so. I don't know. Know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. For riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. After the hay is harvested and the new crops appear, and the mountains grass are gathered in, your sheep will provide wool for clothing, and your goats will provide the price of a field. And you have enough goat's milk for yourself, your family, and your servant girls. Okay, he thinks I'm a chew toy. That's what he does. He thinks I'm a chew toy. Okay, so the proverb that stood out to me is, let's talk about marriage. I'm not married, but let's talk about marriage. Never been married either, so no clue about that. It's always saying about in the Proverbs, so we'll do Proverbs 15:16, 27, 15, 16. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping on a rainy day. Stop her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something with greased hands. I don't know, why does it always have to be the wife, right? Why can't it be the quarrelsome husband, huh? But it is the Bible, So I think in a lot of the marriages, I'm going to try and give some marriage advice through the Bible here. But again, I've never been married or anything like that. But I had abusive relationships. I had relationships that were not just God was not in them. So one thing in your marriage or relationship, you need to put God in them. You have to put God in them. That's how, it's like you're in a relationship with, there's the three of you. God, you, and your husband or your wife, okay? And the thing is that, if you don't have God at the center, your relationship's going to fall. Okay, all my relationships have been epic fails. Epic fails. Very abusive, mentally abusive relationships. Unhealthy is the key word for my relationships. I had so many unhealthy relationships. So I know what not to do. I choose celibacy right now in my life, and I'm staying single until God provides me a man. And that's God's chosen man, not my man, the one I pick, because the ones I pick are always epic fails. So, it's very, very, you need to be very, very careful. If you're single too, like me, you be very careful because you want somebody on the same page as you. You don't want somebody who is like half God, half world. You want somebody who is straight with you, with God, who loves church, loves Jesus, loves all that. You know what I mean? You have to have that because that is a good foundation for you to build on. And always be friends first. Be friends and then see where it goes. Because if you just jump into a relationship, that's an epic fail too. I've done that many, many times. Just jump into a relationship, epic fail, never works out. But for marriages, a lot of marriages in the world right now are getting attacked. They are spiritually attacked. And you got to see where you're at with God. That's like the foot right there. Got to see where you're at with God. Because if God is not the center of your relationship's not going to work. It just won't. I mean, you'll have fights, arguments, all this crazy stuff go on because you're not living your life for God. And is your husband or wife living your life for God? Living their life for God? You know what I mean? Like, you really have to put God in the relationship, and then your relationship will work. So that's my advice on marriage. I love you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.